The watermelon dress is a timeless feminine dress designed to feel as good to wear as it is to sew. To make the watermelon dress, you will need a main fabric. Please check the table for quantities. A 40cm or 16-inch invisible zipper, some 1cm seam tape, and if you're going to make the long sleeve, then you will need some elastic. I have chosen 1cm width. Before starting the construction, the edges of the pieces can be overlocked. If you do not have an overlocker, then don't worry too much about this step. Do not overlock the sleeves, cuffs, and the hem of the skirt. Try not to remove too much from the edge of the fabric with the overlocker. The seam allowance for this dress is 1cm or 3/8 of an inch. Start by sewing the front side bodice to the front panel. Do this for both the facing and the main fabric. See pattern hacks for how to achieve a better fit. For the video, I have decided to use a different colour facing to make it more easy to understand. I would recommend using the same fabric to face the bodice of the dress. When sewing, carefully ease around the curve on the machine. Where the panels join near the neckline of the bodice, cut a notch roughly 2 cm or 1 inch down like shown in the photo. This should be done for both the facing and the main fabric. Press seams open. Make sure that the section above the notch is not pressed open. This should be pressed so that it lies flat on the front. See the photo for reference. To keep it extra neat, give it a press from the right side. Sew the back bodice panels to the front bodice panels. Also join at the shoulders. press all seams open. Add 1 centimeter taping around the neckline of the bodice. This will prevent the neckline stretching when sewing the facing fabric. Place the facing and main fabric bodice pieces right sides to right sides. Pin along the top edge, making sure that all seams are matching to each other. This ensures a neater finish at the end. Sew around the top edge of the bodice, joining the facing to the main fabric. Pivot the needle around the corners. When stitching the front of the bodice, make sure that you sew 2 millimeters on the side panel outside of the seam to join to the front panel. Snip into the corners of the panels. There are 2 on the front and 2 on the back. Snip notches into the seam allowance along the centre front bodice. This will allow the front bodice shape to be more defined. Understitch on the facing side of the bodice section, starting about 2 cm away from the centre back. Turn to the right side and then press. Base stitch around the armhole to secure facing to halter fabric. This is for the longer sleeve tutorial. If you'd like to make the shorter sleeve, please skip this section. Mark 1 cm either side on the long edge of the elastic casing. Fold the 1 cm edge towards the middle and press well. Do the same for both sides. On the wrong side of the sleeve, match the casing with the notches on either side, making sure that it lies flat. Pin well. You may find that the casing overhangs the edges of the sleeves. This can be trimmed once sewn. Top stitch down each side of the casing onto the sleeve. Take the measurement of your wrist and then add 4 centimeters. Cut 2 pieces of elastic at this length. Using a bodkin or a safety pin, push the elastic through the casing carefully until you are nearly losing one end. Once the elastic is lined up with the edge, machine tack in place. Continue to pull the elastic through the channel. Once you are at the other end, machine tack in place. Make sure that it is very secure. Sew a gather stitch between the 2 marked notches on the sleeve. Do not gather this section yet. Match notches on the side seam of the sleeve. and sew together. Press the seam open. Fold over the overlocked edge and then fold over again and top stitch. This will hem the sleeve. Now you are ready to add it to the dress. This is the shorter sleeve tutorial. Overlock side edges of the sleeve like shown in the photo. Sew a gather stitch between the two marked notches of the sleeve. Do not gather this section yet. Sew sleeve side seams together and then press seam open. For the cuff, overlock if you have one, or simply sew together down the shortest side. Fold in half, widthways and press. Gather stitch around the bottom of the sleeve. Start by matching the seam on the cuff with the seam on the sleeve. Gently pull the gathering stitch so that it is now the same length as the cuff. Pin well. Sew together on the machine, making sure that the gathering is still nice and even all the way around. Overlock the edge where the sleeve meets the cuff. If you do not have an overlocker, I would recommend using a zigzag stitch or a bias binding. Pin the top notch of the sleeve to the shoulder seam of the bodice. Match the sleeve joining seams with the side seam of the bodice. Gather the gathering stitch previously sewn so that it fits well in the armhole. Pin well and stitch. For the skirt. On the centre front panel, sew down from the waist until the notch. This is for the slit and can be altered depending on the preference of the side or length. Sew up completely if you do not want to slit. Pin and sew the left panel onto the centre front skirt panel. Please note that the hems may not match at the bottom. Please don't stretch so that it will fit. Every fabric falls differently and the hem will be sorted later in the process. Sew the skirt panels on the machine. When you are sewing the side with the slit, make sure you do a back tack to stop it opening. Press all the seams open. Match the seams on the front skirt panel with the front bodice panel. Pin the rest of the skirt to the bodice section. Sew and press the seams open. Measure 40 centimeters down the centre back seam. Mark this point and then pin from this point to the skirt hem. Sew and press seam open. Mark 1.3 centimeters or half an inch from the top edge of both back pieces. This is where the zipper will be placed. Place the zipper down one side of the centre back on the right side of the fabric. Pin in place, and if you need to hand tack and remove the pins before sewing on the machine. Make sure zipper teeth are rolled out flat. Then position the zipper foot, making sure that the needle will sew as close as possible to the zipper teeth. Pin the other half of the zipper to the other centre back seam and repeat the last two steps. With the zipper open, flip the facing so that both the facing and the outer fabric are right sides together. Sew down the facing to the zipper edge, turn back around and press to make sure the facing is not showing. Before hemming, hang the dress for at least 24 hours. This allows the fabric to fall into place. I used a laser level to hem my dress. I just shone it on the bottom of the dress and trimmed off the edges that were too long. But you can also hem the garment by measuring from the waist to the bottom of the skirt. For this skirt it's 92 centimeters, but you can also use your own desired length. Measure all the way around and trim off all excess fabric. I used a rolled hem foot to hem my dress. If you don't have one, then I would recommend using a pin hem. Start by pressing the overlocked edge to the inside of the skirt. If you don't have an overlocker, then fold over the edge of the fabric around 6 mm. Once folded, Fold over again so that the overlocked edge cannot be seen. This should also be about 6mm. Make sure that it flows nicely from the slit. It is worth folding the edge above where it starts too. Stitch this section when you get to the top of the slit. Pivot the needle and then pivot again as you go down. Make sure this section is very strong because this bit is very weak. I would love to see what you have made. Share your dress online with the hashtag AmyWatermelonDress.